I started reading Invincible, and I know I'm late on this one. I saw the clips from the show and was like, well, I'll read the comics first and then I'll get to the show later. So I ordered up the first compendium and started reading. Then I realized the compendium was 48 issues, along with some of the other various books that came out in that block of comics. And I'm like, this is too big to sit and read comfortably. So I started ordering the Ultimate Editions. And I got to issue 18 before I stopped reading the omnibus. And I started seeing clips from the show after that. It popped up in my YouTube algorithm. And I'm seeing these clips, and I'm a bit behind on this, but how they handled the Guardians of the Globe versus Omni Man in the show versus Howard in the comics is something that really is vexing me. And I get it's adapted for television and Robert Kirkman wrote it and everything, but how Omni Man dealt with the Guardians in the comic and how he dealt with them in the show is a stark difference, and it really does Omni Man no justice. Omni Man has rapidly become one of my favorite characters in comic books, period. I just love the guy. So in this video, I want to do a small deep dive into this change. But before we get into that, hit the like, hit the sub button, and share this out there if you like what you're hearing. I would be very grateful. And now, let's get into it. We all know the scene from the show. Darkwing marches down the hallway, and everyone is confused as to wondering who actually called them all there. Red Rush sees Omni-Man coming in on a killing blow with somebody, and this begins one of the most brutal things I have ever seen on TV. Yes, that includes the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones. It's a knockdown fight. Omni-Man takes a beating. Red Rush really hurts him, and he breaks his hands, rapidly punching him as his head is being crushed. But Omni-Man pushes through and single-handedly takes down the most powerful heroes on Earth at the time, then collapses. Cecil comes in, finds him hurt, and starts the mystery of who killed the Guardians of the Globe. This is not how it happens in the comics. Far from it. And this is where my problem begins. Because while I really do like this scene, it does Omni-Man zero justice and really powers him down. Now, in the comics, this is in issue 7. We see Mark waking up, then it goes to the Guardians, each doing their own thing that morning. Some are fighting, some are bored sitting on their throne, others are waking up with their girlfriend, that would be War Woman, and, they all get attacked and they end up getting the call to head back to base. Head to the base. Okay, so they all head down to base. And they're all sitting there like, who called us? And then, in the next panel, they just start dying. On a whole page, it's 4 panels of them dying. I'll show them right here. Just as bloody and brutal as the show. Even has the immortal, I never liked you. The Red Rush and Aquarius are the first 2 to be taken out. Omni-Man removed so fast that they never had a chance. He is faster than Red Rush and more powerful than them all. There was no fight. He took them down without a problem. With how they presented it in the show, they powered down Omni-Man. And not just a little bit, by a significant amount. He is faster, smarter, and more powerful than all the Guardians of the Globe in the comics. But in the show, he's not that strong. Even in the fight, after Immortal comes back and hunts down Omni-Man, he wholesale kills him without a problem. There was no fist fight. There was no nothing. He just kills him. And because of this change, I feel that the Omni-Man in the show is far less dangerous than the one in the comic books. And it does the character no justice. I get Kurtzman wrote the series, and it's a lot different, and it's adapted, and it's probably going to be as faithful as we're going to get. But this power down of Omni-Man is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they went for shock value and, oh, he's a bad guy because he doesn't care about life, when that should have been explained as soon as he called Mark's mom, thinking of her as a pet. You don't need gratuitous violence all the time, non-stop. The train scene wasn't in the comic book when, he holds him in front of a train and, he eviscerates like 70 people because of the train crash. That wasn't in the comic books. And rightfully so, it didn't need to be there. Because Omni-Man single-handedly slaughtered the Guardians of the Globe without taking a scratch. And he just at the time, was a soulless dick. but I don't know why they did this. And, I think I can get it. It's got to be fun. It's got to be entertaining. And some things don't translate well. This is one of those things they should have stuck with. The scenes weren't needed, all that stuff. And it was just horrible. And I'm going to watch the show. And even if I, don't like some of the stuff they do, I still think the show is good. But the changes, especially to Omni Man, are really something I really do not enjoy. It's reasons like this that I always encourage people to read the source material, because some things are drastically going to change. Characters you might not enjoy are completely different in another thing, and you might enjoy them in that. But this fight between Omni Man and the Guardians of the Globe is a key example of why you have to read the source material over everything else, because Omni Man in the comics is far more powerful, far more brutal, and far more terrifying than what they have in the show. And in the freaking books, I mean, they blamed it on Black Samson, who got kicked out of the Guardians of the Globe, and it was a great mystery to solve. So proving more and more that Nolan was just smarter than all of them. And he'd been on Earth, 20 years, and he fooled Cecil. At least Cecil had the ability to acknowledge it, but he's smarter than that, too. He's smarter than Cecil. But let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think about the adaptation and the changes that they are making? I know there's been quite a few others, and I'll eventually get into them. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think of this. Hit the like, hit the sub button, share this video out there. I'd be really grateful for that. And yeah, I will catch you in the next one. Have a good one.